From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. On Saturday, the city of Troy celebrated a man that worked side by side with Martin Luther King in Montgomery and Selma, currently serves Congress from Atlanta, but originally called Pike County home. Paige Weeks gives us a look at John Lewis Day.
Saturday marked a historic day for Pike County as the boy from Troy returned home for a celebration all about him. Representative John Robert Lewis was greeted by members of the community as well as Pike County and Troy University officials who were gathered to celebrate what was deemed as John Lewis Day.
We're so proud to be the home of Congressman John Lewis, and we're just going to look forward to enjoying the day and giving him the honor he is so due.
Although Lewis's connection to Troy has been recognized in the past, officials decided it was time for a more formal recognition.
To be able to thank him in person and every day to be able to call him colleague, I know is a gift from God, and it's important that those of us who are beneficiaries of the movement, that we pay it forward.
Although Lewis has been celebrated countless times over the years, to have a permanent fixture here in his hometown of Troy is something he says he'll never forget.
I've seen markers in cities and towns, on highways all across America, but I never dreamed that there would be a marker for me in Troy, Alabama. But I'm reminded every day that I am the boy from Troy.
Lewis not only had a day named after him, he was also presented a key to the city of Troy, as well as an historic marker that will be placed in downtown Troy across from the City Hall. Paige Weeks, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And before Lewis was honored by the city, he served as the keynote speaker at this year's leadership conference celebrating African American history at Troy University. Lydia Williams has the details.
On Friday night, Congressman John Lewis returned to his hometown to speak at Troy University's 17th annual African American Leadership Conference.
When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation to say something, to do something.
During Lewis's speech, he encouraged the youth by explaining how the future of America and the future of the planet depends on them. However, he did mention what he hoped students gained from his speech.
Well, it's my hope that students tonight will be inspired, that they will be lifted.
His speech highlighted many key points of what he faced during the civil rights movement, such as Bloody Sunday, and he left a long-lasting impression on some Troy students.
I gained a lot of leadership skills listening to John Lewis. He was very influential and very inspirational from all of his stories, and it just made me realize that as long as you are selfless when you want to make a change in the world, you can do anything you put your mind to.
And one student plans to use Lewis's advice in the future.
It gave me a purpose on continuing my dreams and everything I need to do. When something is wrong, speak up, and if you need to make a change, try to do that, because it's needed in the community as well as the whole world right now.
Lydia Williams, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And Lewis wasn't the only member of Congress to speak at the conference. Alabama's first African-American woman elected to Congress closed out the conference on Saturday. Anna Kate Patterson has the details.
Troy University's 17th Annual Leadership Conference celebrating African American History Month took place this weekend. This year's theme was Change Agents, civically engaged, academically oriented, and financially capable. Much of the weekend celebrated Georgia's 5th District Representative and Troy native John Lewis. In the closing ceremony, keynote speaker, Alabama's 7th District Representative Terry Sewell, says it was a fitting theme to celebrate such an exemplary man.
I am really excited to be here with my colleague and friend John Lewis. I know that I wouldn't be walking the halls of Congress if it hadn't been for the sacrifices that he and other freedom fighters made. And so it is especially humbling for me to be a part of the program today.
Sewell spoke specifically on civic engagement and the importance of getting involved in your community and politics.
That ordinary people can, collectively working together in a nonviolent way, can achieve extraordinary social change. And that's really what it's about.
And though many agree America has made strides since the civil rights movement, Sewell says there's still more to be done.
people forget that progress is elusive. And so every generation has to fight for the gains that have been made and also pay it forward. And in doing so, we make this world a better place.
And she has a message for those who may be waiting for the next big civil leader.
So often we wait for a savior when we are the saviors we're waiting for.
After the luncheon, the attendants of the conference were invited to the Troy Public Library to take part in the official John Lewis Day ceremony. Anna Kate Patterson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy University's Student Government Association used this past week to try and bring students from all races and backgrounds together for activities focusing on diversity and inclusion. Brady Talbert has the details.
Troy University is home to a wide range of students with differing ethnicities. According to the university's enrollment this past fall, this is how diverse Troy's campus is when examining the school's population based on race. With that diversity, the Student Government Association hopes to promote a message of acceptance and inclusion. On Monday, SGA members took to the Trojan Center to interact with their peers as the start of Diversity and Inclusion Week kicked off.
So today we were out on the quad and outside TC handing out Troy cups, little phone card sleeves that you can put on the back of your phone, and some candy, as well as a little handout about our Diversity and Inclusion Week events.
SGA is sponsoring a diversity and inclusion discussion this week, a brand new event with the hope of starting conversations about race. The group will organize a student panel, as well as allow attendees to break out into smaller groups in order to promote student-on-student conversations about diversity.
I'm so excited for this event because it really does make a difference for a group of people to come and talk about issues that matter. I think that's something that students on our campus are desiring and wanting.
And it's all going to take place here in Patterson 105. Now obviously right now the room is empty, but on Thursday we can expect a room full of students discussing the college experience and stereotyping, something that SGA Minority Relations Director Courtney Fry believes will bring unity to the Troy campus.
So our hope is, with everything that's going on in the world, period, and just how divided things are, we want to make sure that we try to unite the Troy University students. And so this discussion panel, we hope, will start conversations about just different issues that we have among different minority groups.
Conversations that could continue for many years to come.
This is a first-year thing. It's something that could continue depending on how successful it is this week.
Brady Talbert, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we'll see how Troy fans celebrated the newest Trojan football signing class. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
So they say it's a man's world? Well, I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were out doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. We changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Now back to Troy TrojanVision News Weekly.
Wednesday night, Troy football fans got the chance to hear about the newest Trojans getting ready to hit the gridiron this fall. Antonio Reese has the story.
Across the state and the nation, February 7th marked National Signing Day for various athletes of the high school and junior college levels. For Troy football, the day brought an abundance of new prospects, so what better way to commemorate it than with a party?
We're here celebrating our 2018 signing class, a group of young men that we're extremely proud of. This is an opportunity for our community and our fans to interact with our coaches and learn more about our signees. And I think really proud of our coaches for not only the type of player, but the type of young man they're bringing into this community and this university.
Both head coach Neil Brown and athletic director Jeremy McLean expressed how involved they hope to see the community and fan base in the upcoming season.
Our fan support has been tremendous. In 2016, we broke the single season attendance record. Came back in 2017, broke that single season attendance record, and look forward to a great home slate in 2018 where we again can set that single season attendance record.
We've had good support for this event, and people, again, are excited about what we're doing. I think Coach Brown and his staff have done an excellent job of connecting with our community, and I think that goes a long way. I think you saw it tonight. People were pretty engaged in what was going on, what was being said about our future Trojans, and so I think it's an example of, I think, what we'll see during the fall is people ready to show up and support this program.
With only 200 days until the first game of the season against Boise State, the Trojans are already looking out to sell out the stadium.
Oh my gosh, the students have to be here for that first game. To see the vet looking like a bowl and to think of the sound, especially the sound that the student body brought last year, it's going to be a phenomenal game. I'm hoping for a sellout.
Antonio Reese, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Students that live on campus use key fobs in order to access their dorms, but in January, some students experienced technical difficulties with their fob that may have left them out in the cold. Seth Hawk explains.
Troy University students that live in the on-campus dormitories all have a key fob to access their dorms, but on January 19th, the key fob system crashed.
The equipment that we have for our key fobs has just become obsolete, and it has started malfunctioning. I think basically it is no longer supported. It's just like when you have to change over on your Microsoft Windows, and you have to update it, and another system is no longer supported. So it's similar to that. The software is just outdated at this point, and we're having to purchase new equipment, and we're in the process of doing that right now.
According to Burks, almost every dorm on campus was affected by the system crash, with the exception of one.
New Res wasn't, because it was already on a new system, because it's a newer dorm, and when it was built it was put on the new system. We've already replaced Hamill, Gardner, Shackelford, and Pace, so they're on the new system. So we have the other side of the campus to do now. So Trojan Village, Clements, and Newman Center, hopefully they'll begin on it next week. We're really hopeful that the equipment will come in and they'll start on it. I know it's been an inconvenience to everyone.
And if a Troy student were to find themselves locked out of their dorm because of a faulty key fob, Burke says not to worry.
Right now, until we get all of it, hopefully they're not having problems where it's been replaced, where the equipment's been replaced. But if they do have a problem with their fob not working, they need to go to the card access office during business hours, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and they'll reset their fob.
Troy University said farewell to a group of visiting Chinese scholars in a ceremony Thursday morning on campus. Janae Jordan has the story.
Troy University takes pride in diversity and its international program. So on Thursday morning, Troy held its closing ceremony for the Teaching Excellence Fellows program that is partnered with Troy University's Chongcheng Normal University.
We've had 26 Chinese scholars visit for the last 3 months with the goal of improving their knowledge of the way the American system teaches.
The Chongcheng Normal University students are given an opportunity to increase the understanding of the U.S. culture and enhance their teaching skills, so when they return home, they will be able to understand both Chinese and American teaching.
We've taken them to the school systems. They visited some of the college classes that we've had, and I think they're going to bring away the strengths and weaknesses of our program, try to meld them with their program, and maybe get the best of both worlds.
One student from Chongcheng Normal University talked about what she learned from the program.
I've learned a lot. The first is teaching. And actually, I learned about the educational practice, teaching practice. I have better understanding of the teaching strategy, teaching technology, and assessment.
The program provides academic instructions, mentoring from the faculty and staff in the United States, and cultural enrichment. Reporting from Hawkins Hall, Janae Jordan, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And while Troy University may be saying goodbye to some Chinese scholars, it will soon be time to say hello to a new Chinese year. Troy students had the chance to learn about the traditions surrounding Chinese New Year in this week's Chinese Culture Corner. Madison Neal has the details.
What does paper cutting, the color red, and making dumplings all have in common? They are all ways to celebrate the Chinese New Year. On Wednesday, students had the opportunity to learn about the holiday and its festivities, which often include paper cutting.
They put on the windows, there should be some light coming through the paper. So that is why people just cut something using their knives. And later, it just evolves in all kinds of things, and it is becoming more and more beautiful.
In ancient times, Chinese people believed in a monster that would wake up at the end of the year. So it became a tradition to wear red around the new year to ward off evil.
And later, the villagers found that, in fact, the Nian was scared by the loud noises and the red color and the fire, and to wear something in red also to scare away all the bad lucks and the bad evil things.
Today, students learned that in northern Chinese culture, people make dumplings to symbolize money and bring wealth for the new year.
So the 饺子 or the dumpling, the shape of it is like the shape of like gold money in the past. In the past, we have a kind of gold money called 金元宝, and the shape of that is a round one, just like the 饺子. We want to express our best wishes that in the coming new year we can have a good fortune.
The Chinese New Year celebration will begin on February 16th. Madison Neal, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll see how a Troy sorority used exercise to bring awareness to heart health. Stay tuned, that's coming up right after this.
This is DeKeys. She has her bachelor's degree from Troy University and is now pursuing her master's online to grow her career. Soon, she'll have a prestigious graduate degree from Troy, a proud public university that's been helping students achieve their career goals since 1887. Do what you love and be great at it. That's the warrior spirit. Learn more at troy.edu/workingwarrior.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
It's often said that one man's trash is another man's treasure, and visitors to the Johnson Center Artist Reception got to see the saying personified in artist Charlie Lucas, who turned scrap metal into works of art. Nathaniel Rodriguez has the story.
Selma artist Charlie Lucas said humility is important to being a good artist during his reception at Troy's Johnson Center for the Arts Thursday night. Using stories from his past, Lucas explained that art is something for teaching and enjoyment rather than making a profit.
I don't consider it as art, I consider it as toys, that I make things. And I don't know no other way to look at it. Maybe I need to go to another point of it, but when you're happy, why mess with it?
Lucas says that he uses a combination of techniques to create his artwork, such as this metallic horse, which is a combination of welding and basket weaving.
My great-grandfather was a blacksmith, my granddaddy was a basket weaver, my dad was a mechanic, and my mom was a quilt maker. So with all of their skill, I took it and just reused them in a way.
One of Lucas's former students said the history behind each piece is what sets Lucas apart from other artists.
Charlie's art has a story, and every story has got a special meaning to him and how it's influenced his life, and all of those influences impact other people as well. So I think that they have a much more deeper and more impactful meaning.
And as for Lucas, he said people need to know one thing.
It's still a beautiful world. We just got to take time and look at it.
Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Zumba is a form of exercise that combines aerobics and dance, and it's pretty good at getting your heart pumping. Well, one Troy University sorority used the workout to bring awareness to heart health. Adoria Hughes has the story.
On Friday night, students were able to come and participate in Zumba Night, where the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha partnered with Troy American Muscle Fitness Association to promote Heart Awareness Day.
Tonight's event was geared towards heart awareness. We pretty much did a Zumba event going towards heart awareness in a partnership with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. it was a great event, and we had a good time. You see, I'm rocking my red today, and it was just a great event as a whole.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death in Americans, and especially in the African American community.
The purpose of the Zumba Night was to basically just get everyone aware about heart health awareness, and that's what Alpha Kappa Alpha has been doing around campus this week, and that's like our main target for this week around the schools. So we've just been trying to get people to know about their heart and know how to work out and know how to increase that cardio in a positive way.
If students are looking to gain a more healthier lifestyle and get actively involved, American Muscle Fitness Association is always seeking new members.
So American Muscle is a fitness club at Troy University's campus that provides fitness services and health services to the campus and the community. Our main thing is we want to provide workout sessions to the campus, community service projects, and opportunities to build a platform for the students.
American Muscle hosts workouts every Monday and Wednesday. Adoria Hughes, Troy, TrojanVision News.
When it comes to sports that college students play in their downtime, badminton may not be on the top of that list. However, the sport has an active following at Troy through a club that's bringing students of all types together for some fun. Aaron Dixon has the story.
On Friday, the Troy Badminton Club met in their first official practice of the semester. Students gathered to play a sport that is known around the world. The president of the Badminton Club was even able to explain how the club got started.
When I first came here, there's no such thing as a badminton club at all. So me and with 3 of my friends just, okay, we want to play badminton, but nowhere to play, then how about we just create one. We just set up a badminton club. And so after that, we just casually play.
The Badminton Club has members from various countries and cultures represented in their club, but they all come together and play a sport that they love.
We have welcomed a lot of students into our club. We have students from Japan, from China, Vietnam, America. We want to create a club that all students can come and be the most comfortable that they can be.
The Badminton Club has members of all different skill levels, and sometimes a member needs some extra help.
Basically, we just give them about what is the grip of the racket, how to hold it, and then we go about how to serve, how to do different kind of shots, backhand, forehand, how to do smashes, so all the basic stuff.
One of the trainers was even able to explain his favorite part of the Badminton Club.
My favorite part of badminton is to get everyone together and everyone have fun and then play.
The Troy Badminton Club served off their practice on Friday. Some might say it was an ace. Aaron Dixon, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And it's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll get a preview of the Trojan baseball season from head coach Mark Smart. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Now back to Troy TrojanVision News Weekly.
First pitch of the Trojan baseball season is right around the corner. In this week's Trojan Talk, we'll get a preview from head coach Mark Smart. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. My guest today is Mark Smart, which means we're going to be talking a little baseball, and it's right around the corner. Even though the weather outside may not feel like it at times, we're getting ready for that first pitch. I know you've got to be excited for it. So.
It's a great time of year, Aaron, and you mentioned the weather. When it's cold, it's kind of our baseball opening. Spring is kind of down the road, but it is that time. Our team has been together since August when we started the fall semester, and They've been together for a long time now, and the season can't start fast enough for them. So we look forward to get starting.
And
next
obviously,
week.
you've gotten a chance to see this team kind of build up, especially after the fall, and then coming into the first few weeks of the year here. So obviously, how are things looking with the team as a unit? So
I really like the things they accomplished in the fall, Aaron. I thought we had a productive fall. I thought we got better. We learned a lot about our new players, plugged them in and see where they fit. Our experienced players, I thought, did a nice job getting better and helping our team learn and grow. The preseason, January and early February, I think we've I don't know that we picked up exactly where we left off. I'm not sure you ever do that, but I think we're in position to start the year right. We're as healthy. We've had a couple of injuries, but we're very healthy, and that's an important part.
You mentioned there the word preseason. I got to stop and talk a little about the preseason accolades that you've gotten. And I know a lot, coaches like to talk about preseason this, preseason that, wait till we get to the season. But obviously seeing some of your guys get some preseason recognition has got to make you feel good and make the team have a little more confidence there.
Well, certainly you do. And any preseason award, Aaron, it really harkens back to what they accomplished the previous year. We've got two that have received that type of recognition from the conference. The first being Andrew Crane, the most prominent one. Andrew was an all-conference pitcher last year and did something rather amazing with 40 straight scoreless innings. That was a record for our league and our school and a lot of things. But more importantly, he was selected all-conference, which was not a surprise. But to his credit, he was selected preseason pitcher of the year, and which is a great kind of tribute to what he accomplished last year. I had a conversation with Andrew earlier this week, and I said, that's an awesome thing to be proud of, certainly, and I'm definitely proud of him. But I said it also puts a pretty large circle on your back and a target for others to beat this guy. And so that'll be a good challenge for him. And then our other players, Brandon Lockridge. Brandon, this is his third year as a junior. He had a great freshman year. He was in the running for freshman of the year in the league. He didn't win it, but he was in the running. Last year he was all-conference, and so he was listed as our preseason all-conference team. And we've got other players with great experience around those guys that I think are deserving. They didn't get that type recognition, but I think they're in that area code.
Talk about schedule, because it's a pretty good schedule for you guys. A lot of home games and a lot of stuff that folks can even go out of town and see a couple games this season.
I really like the schedule the way it was done, and scheduling is kind of luck. Who matches up where and who you can play, etc. But we opened the season at home, which we've done quite a bit here of late, and we try to. I like to open up the season at home. We play 4 games the first weekend at home, a doubleheader on Saturday. And that gives us a chance to kind of get more people involved, get more players on the field, kind of, get the bubble wrap off and to go play. And then week 2, we've got a unique opportunity in week 2. We play on the road, but we play at Auburn on Wednesday, the 21st. And they're a great team from last year, went to a regional. And that's a trip 90 miles that we do have some people that can come over. And then our first road weekend series, we go to Florida State, play in Tallahassee.
Great trip there.
Great trip. One of the staple programs in college baseball history. Their head coach is going to set an all-time. He's going to be the winningest coach ever at some point this season. So that's how we get it started. And then along the way, we do play at Alabama. We do have Auburn coming here. We've got a neutral site game with Mississippi State. We play every team in our state, Aaron, which I like.
That's good.
All Division I teams in our state we're going to get to play. That comes around about once every 5 or 6 years maybe, and this is one of those years. So we're excited about that. And then you've always got the focus of your season is our conference schedule, which in baseball is 30 games, 3-game series, 10 weekends. Very challenging, very complex, always tough to navigate. 5 series at home, 5 on the road. So that will be the main focus starting in mid-March all the way to the finish line. And our job in the early part of the season is to get our team prepared and ready to compete that 30-game schedule and hopefully get in the top of the league.
Obviously, and get that chance to see a little postseason action as well, so get back in that hunt there. So,
right.
Mark, good luck with the season and looking forward to that first pitch. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Aaron.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened on the first week of February 2018. Find out what's happening throughout the week. You can tune into Troy Trojan Vision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday, or anytime by following us on Twitter at Troy TV News. Also, feel free to like our Troy Trojan Vision News fan page on Facebook to see online content from Troy Trojan Vision News. We hope you join us again next week for another edition of Troy Trojan Vision Weekly. Have a good week.